welcome back to the JB Soul Show. I'm still in the show today. No, just kidding. JB's here too.
What is this? Okay. We're doing the show today. I'm your host, JB. We have a great show for you today. Great thing planned out. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm here with producer Brooke.
I'm
she's back.
Still in the show today.
Yeah, she's back to make this entertaining. So, hello everybody. What's going on? Today we're going to be talking about, you guessed it, the school system.
That is shocking.
So, before we get into the video, if you could leave a like if you're on YouTube, and you share the video with a friend, and you do all that good stuff you know you're supposed to do.
Alright, once we're done with JB's annoying self-promo, we can actually get into the content.
Oh, yeah. So, today we're going to be talking about something called scientific management, which is basically what corporate schooling is built off of. Corporate schooling meaning schooling, which is controlled by corporations, which is what our school system is. Yeah. So, scientific management. Basically, the idea, scientific management was developed in the early 1900s by a guy named Frederick Taylor. He thought that if we could create if you could maximize efficiency by finding the one best way to do things, then you could create a perfect economy, basically. And this took the country by storm, and a bunch of administrators thought, hey, what if we found the best way to educate children? Because what could possibly go wrong with that?
Everyone learns the same way, as we all know. Like, why would anyone learn differently than anyone else?
You can standardize curriculums, you can do mass testing, you can do all of that stuff. You can find the one best way to learn, shove it down students' throats, and it'll be perfect. Nothing could go wrong here. I see no problems with this. So anyway, I have the Wikipedia page if you're watching this on YouTube, and basically it is one big pursuit of economic efficiency, scientific management. It is meant for factories originally, and it was used in factories, and I guess it's still used today a fair bit. It kind of works, I guess. But, like I said, in the early 1900s, a bunch of administrators went, hey, school system, it could really use this.
And you'll see by statistics that I may or may not put up on the screen right now that it has not worked.
Yep. So what I have here is a document from the Department of Education back in 2016, where they talk about scientific management, and they discuss how it is in fact still in the school system. So what we have here is their sort of way that they characterize it. They say that scientific management is basically characterized by standardized tests, expert opinions, and finding the one best way to do things. And that there was a group of administrators that thought that if they were able to find the one best way and implement it into the school system, we would have this great school system where everyone would be learning. And, I mean, they were funded, sure, by corporations that wanted to churn out workers, but why would you care about that? Why would anyone care about that? You know, corporations, they know what's best for us. I mean, what would a corporation do? You know, that's how you want to go about it. So I read a book on this, which is what kind of made me want to do this episode. It was a very esoteric book written in the 1960s by a professor. It was unbelievably boring, but I got through it, and it was very interesting. It exposed how basically a bunch of administrators thought this would be a great idea, so they chucked it right in the school system.
Did you just say that the book was very boring and then immediately afterwards said that it was very interesting?
Sure. So this scientific management was basically meant to manage the workers, surveil them, to find how they should be acting, how they should best be doing their jobs. So basically when this was put into the school system, this translates into teachers finding the best way for students to do their tasks and constantly surveilling them. I mean, you look at a school system today, you have cameras covering every inch of the school. So basically, you are under constant surveillance. That's what you're supposed to. What you need to know is that you are under constant surveillance. You are not to step out of line, and we're gonna find the one best way to do things for you.
I mean, you can see cameras in the schools.
They're everywhere.
They're just there.
They are just sitting everywhere. And another part of scientific management is basically the emphasis on a central control, on everything being centralized, And that has been what's happened in the school system over the last 100 years or so. You've had more and more federal centralization of education. You have things like Common Core, No Child Left Behind, that nobody likes. Nobody likes this stuff, right? No teacher likes the No Child Left Behind Act. Race to the top, all this bull crap that basically has destroyed any notion of education in the school system. And this started all in the 1910s. I'm not going to get into it too much, but you had an administrator named John Bobbitt and another one, I don't know his first name, but Spalding. And they basically teamed up. They wrote a bunch of articles. They got a bunch of administrators on and superintendents on their side, and they put this in the school system with they created an establishment of administrators to get this in there, which still exists today. The centralization of education. It still exists. It's all there. So, this is a recipe for disaster. I mean, we wonder why kids don't like school. We wonder why they're depressed. It's because they're not meant to be educated. They're in a system which is not meant to educate them. They're in a system that is meant to school them. They're in a system that's meant to find the best way to do things and then tell them to do it, not learn how to think or reasoning or learn intellectual self-defense or anything like that.
Sorry.
I'm almost done. They're just taught the best way to do things.
Why would factory workers need to learn how to think, how to have critical thinking?
Exactly.
How to be reasonable and.
It's corporate schooling meant to serve a corporate economy, which of course is what we are. Our economy has come to be dominated by several mega corporations colluding with the government, basically. And you have these school systems which just churn out workers. The school system is not meant to allow students to maximize their potential, to allow them to live a life of fulfillment. They are going to try and turn out the ultimate worker, as one of the administrators put it. The ultimate worker is the goal. Not the ultimate student, not the ultimate individual, but the ultimate worker. The person that can follow directions, stay in line, obey orders, be surveilled and like it, and not be paid much.
Not a person who can think, or a person who is actually like a decent human being, or anything like that.
No, absolutely not. That's just not what it's for. And when you go to the school system, you kind of realize that. It's actually for something else when you really start to think about it. Now, thankfully for the school system, not a lot of people do think about it. Most of the time, people aren't thinking about it because they're just thinking about this essay they have to do or this paper they have to finish. But the school system, it is stuck in the past. It is stuck in a time that is not ours. And even though everything we've done with education has failed, we keep doubling down on this. We keep doubling down on this horrible idea of if we could just standardize it more, if we could just centralize it more, if we could just find the one real best way to do things, then it'll be great.
Just throw more money at it. It'll work.
Brilliant!
It always has, never, ever.
Brilliant! How smart. And of course, the solution to this is to ignore the school system. If you're a student right now, if you're a parent, encourage your kids to do this. Ignore the school system. Don't let them control you. Don't let them dominate you. You should be ignoring them. Figure out the best way to learn for you. Not everyone else, but you. And take that and use it. Use your own creativity. Use your own biological urge to learn. It has to be in there somewhere, surely. Surely the school system might have buried it, but it has to be in there somewhere. And become the person that you want to be, because we can all do that. We can all reach our potential. We all have a great potential, but this whole system is bent on making sure you never ever reach that. It's so tragic what's happened.
I mean, I would say, if they're teaching something in school, I would say maybe listen to it.
Okay.
I mean, it never hurts to have some knowledge of history or science or math, however badly they're teaching you. You can learn some stuff out of school. But definitely learn your own things too.
Absolutely. I mean, we we can't rely on this institution. It's a crazy idea, almost in and of itself, that we can just rely on this massive, this conglomeration of schools which are controlled not by the people but by the government and by corporations. But we can trust them. We can trust them to teach all the right things. We can trust them. They're trustworthy. You love the school system. The school system loves you. Right? That's not quite proved so good though. Now has it? All right. Well, this is a very short episode, but I think I'm out of things to talk about.
Yep.
And also, it should probably be short. The episode should probably be shorter in general. So
Yeah, if he goes on for another 10 minutes, I'm going to lose my mind. Like, I will go insane.
well, that's not very nice. But all right, so yeah, let's wrap this thing up. So if you're on YouTube, like I said, please do like and subscribe, and if you could leave a comment, that would really help us out. And if you're on Libsyn or if you're watching this anywhere, just share it with a friend. All right, just copy the link and paste it in your favorite group chat.
Also, please don't write a negative comment. That would not help.
Well,
I mean, it might help.
I mean, just say comment, okay?
Yeah.
All right. So yeah. Until next time, I've been your host JB,
And I'm a producer, Brooke.
and we are signing off.